Hello, friends. Red rose tea on a nice cold winter afternoon. Not very cold here, really. There we go. Hello, my name is Dan. Maybe you know that. And this is Dan's Art Adventure, number 36, watercolor sketch in preparation for a large oil painting. Ready, set, go. It's all official now. Now, I'm going to take just a minute to do a very smooth, high-tech move of my camera. Ready? Ready, set, go. It's kind of like blinding a falcon. Put a hood over its eyes. It doesn't know what's going on. Does that look like fun? All right. And when you open your eyes, lo and behold, you'll be looking straight down at my drawing table. One small. All right, I think we're all set. Sorry for the snap, crackle, pop here again. All right. Oh, and suddenly my volume is real far away. Is that better? Hello, R147. Thank you. Glad you caught me today. All right, so let me tell you what's going on. This is my watercolor paper, by the way, and it's just cheap. Let me see. What I mean by that is it's not 300 pound. It's, you know, perfectly adequate. Strathmore 400 series. And but I did turn it over so I could show you this trick. I don't know if you know this trick or not. If you put masking tape on the back of a sheet of watercolor paper, cheap, or what I'm calling cheap, what I mean is thin watercolor paper, it'll help a little bit in the curl. So that's a sweet trick. All right, now I'm planning to do a large oil painting of this scene. And here's one of the preliminary sketches that I've already done. Now this is, you could call it a fantasy landscape, perhaps, or a heavenly vision landscape. I'll zoom in some more. You see this pavilion, steps, all in a Grecian classical style, in front of mountains, hills, waterfalls, lake, boat, and people. One of the key elements, as I've thought about this, is that, hello, Adam Brakey, how about that? It has been a while. Good to see you. Adding, if there's no people in here, this is just an idyllic landscape, not unlike Albert Bierstadt, Hudson River School, Turner, something like that. But if I add people, especially detailed people. All right, a couple other things. I'm planning to do this oil painting quite large, 4 by 6 feet, something like that. And I'm planning to do it not in my typical slapdash impressionistic style, which I like very much, but just for a change, I'm going to do this in a tighter, more realistic. There's a guy on YouTube that has millions of viewers. I'll think of his name in a minute. Sorry, who does he does a lot of things very well, but he does landscapes like this. So I'm going to try. Now, there's one more thing. I have another sketch. On this one, I worked out the architecture of the pavilion just a little bit more than I did on this one. But that's enough talk. Let's get started. And this is indeed a watercolor sketch. Let's see if I can get you guys turned the same direction. This is not a finished, polished kind of watercolor painting. It's loose, and because I call it a sketch, that means I give myself permission to use unconventional mediums, starting with, not the least of which, is watercolor pencils. And right now you see me doing something that I'm pretty much in the habit of doing. Hello, Uncle. Andrew Tischler. Thank you, buddy. That's exactly. So I'm going to do a large oil painting in this style, if you will. And all that means, in the style of Andrew Tischler, and all that means is a fairly refined, detailed, realistic style. So I've drawn an outline. That's a habit. That's a very good habit. If you're not in it when you do drawings, it's a really good habit to have. I won't take a minute right now to explain why. I'll just leave it at that for now. I expect to do this watercolor sketch of this painting. Then I plan to do an oil painting sketch that would be 24 by 30 or something like that, perhaps. You know, a reasonably large painting, if you will. I may even do some what do you call the black and white sketches? Sounds like a Japanese word. I've had this problem before. It's especially when I'm doing artwork. It's like the language side of my brain and the uh-oh. This is weird. I don't know where that music is coming from. That is so strange. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. All right, do we have any? Guys, I'm so sorry about that. I'm sure everybody that was here has left. I don't blame you one bit. All right, back to sketching. Start my first sketch with a light colored watercolor pencil. I know you guys can barely see this. I apologize for that. I will be doing a darker color in just a minute. In fact, darker color right now. So these are watercolor pencils, as I mentioned earlier. Let me straighten you out a little bit. There we go. And I have a practice of doing my very first sketches with lighter colors and then progressing to darker and darker shades, darker colors as I proceed. So now I'm using a hot pink or fuchsia color and making corrections. And because it's a dark, because the fuchsia is darker than the yellow gold, then the effect will be, in a sense, that I don't mean that literally, I mean in essence.